How the multiverse will change Marvel movies. Following is a transcript of the video. Matt Stewart. Marvel finally gave us a new trailer for Spider. Nick Fury. Beck is from Earth, just not ours. The Snap Torah. Spider-Man. You're saying there's a multiverse? Matt. Yes, that's exactly what the trailer is saying. In the Marvel comic, basically, the multiverse is a way of creating and working with ongoing alternate realities. Think of each if you saw Spider. For example, the Marvel Universe in the comics is referred to as Earth 616. This is the one but if a creator wants to tell a different story, say, one where Charles Xavier is murdered at a young age, causing a chain reaction that sees the villain Apocalypse conquer almost the entire world, then an alternate universe is needed. Give it a number, tell your story, do whatever you want to the characters, and none of it should affect the main timeline, but more on that later. Now, both storylines took place in dystopian futures with X-Men from present-day Earth 616, but the future events of days. Hey, I know they later changed old. Now, remember that part about characters from other timelines not affecting the main timeline? Well, characters from one reality can and do cross over to other realities all the time. One comic, every single one of their missions could be considered a time heist. Were you asking there's a good chance him staying behind in the past created a whole new dimension of reality. The main Marvel he would had to cross over to the main MCU reality to bring Sam the Shield, but he just kind of appears on that bench at the end of Endgame. So, it is possible. The Russo brothers, Marvel could be setting up the multiverse as a way to bring the Avengers, the X-Men, and the Fantastic Four all together on the big screen. Having each team. Now, there's a lot of other stuff that goes along with the multiverse. It's too complicated. The X-Men offshoot Team Excalibur is very linked to the multiverse, and Reed Richards of the Fantastic Four is constantly building transporters to jump through time and hop dimensions. So the potential, I am not saying that's how they'll do it, but after introducing the concept of time travel in Endgame and bringing in the multiverse in Far, they're going for infinity. The Ancient One.
Raindrop, drop top, smoking, no cooking the hot pot. Fucking on your bitch, yeah, that. Looking up, open the park pot.